everybody? It's the Dead Time Radio Show, and I'm Billy. I'm here with my buddy Don. Hi, Don.
Hello.
Today, we are going to talk about some really cool stuff. But before we do that, I just want people to know you can send us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. You can tell us stories. You can tell us about stuff that you've seen or done, stories of programs you want us to do, anything. Tell us that we suck. Tell us we're ugly. I know I am. But, you know, whatever you want to do. You can also go to our website at thedeadtimeradioshow.com, and you can click on a little button that says Become a Patron. And you can become a patron if you want to. Sounds like fun. Yeah? Anyway, so today's episode is all about alien abductions. I like to hear stories from people who I think are a little crazy, and their stories of alien abductions. So I went looking through the YouTubes, because I like the YouTubes, looking for cool and interesting things. Dawn, have you ever been abducted by an alien?
No, I have not been abducted by an alien.
I might have. I might have been abducted.
Because they penetrated you into your butthole with...
Why you
like
gotta
Cartman.
go straight to the butt stuff?
I was just waiting. I figured I'd beat you to the punch.
No, I wasn't going to talk about butt stuff.
Maybe they will.
Oh my goodness.
That's what happened to Cartman, right?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So the first place we looked was a place called... Hands down, the most bizarre alien abduction stories of all time, and that's on Grunge, and that's on YouTube. So if you guys want to follow along, I mean, you can watch the video with us now, but if you want to watch it at your own pace and not listen to our commentary, you're more than welcome.
We still want you to listen, though.
Hells yeah, we still want you to listen. So I guess we should just jump right in, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, can I tell you a story?
Well, the U.S. government...
What?
So I was watching the other show, Osborne's Belief, right? So I don't know if you've seen it, where Jack is talking to his mom and his dad, and he's showing them like clips and shit. So this latest episode, speaking of aliens, this girl had sex with an alien on a dating app. And then I guess the Uber driver refunded half of her cab fare because he dropped him in a field in the middle of nowhere. So they interviewed her. Y'all gotta watch it. It's fucking hilarious.
I can't believe that bitch never called me back.
I
was so mad. I liked her. It was a long walk home, though.
It was California. Ridiculous.
It was a very long walk home.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
California to South Carolina.
Yeah. You had
Those
your
stories
plane.
I could tell you.
You had your plane in the cornfield that you had the Uber driver drop you off at.
Exactly. I just made it all like silver tinfoil
So
plane,
Sharon
so it looked like an
Osbourne
aircraft,
asked
alien aircraft.
How big his penis was, since he's an alien.
Nice.
She said, very large.
That's a personal question that I don't want to answer.
That's what I would ask if you had sex with an alien. What's the size?
I wouldn't be having sex with a male alien, for one, so I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Well, you know, I'm not judging. If you
I'd be
do.
like Captain Kirk, man. I'd be all over them green-skinned bitches.
Finally acknowledging numerous instances of UFO encounters, we thought it would be a good idea to delve into some of the most bizarre alien abduction stories of all time. There's lots to cover, from the late 1800s to present day, so let's blast off.
That man's hat was on point. His little red beret. He looked angry, didn't he?
Yeah.
He looked like some South African warlord.
Nice.
Is what he looked like. Well, not South African, but just African in general.
Yeah.
All the people to make a claim of alien abduction, Kirsan Iluzhinov seems like a prime candidate, at least on paper. Iluzhinov is a world-class chess player, former president of the World Chess Federation, a multimillionaire, and the former president of the Russian Republic of Kalmykia. At one point in time, his name was even being floated around to head FIFA, because when you think rich chess guy who used to run a republic, soccer immediately comes to mind. In a story eerily reminiscent of that iconic scene from Back to the Future, Illuminov claims that in 1997, aliens wearing yellow spacesuits showed up at his Moscow apartment and yanked him to a spaceship waiting in orbit. The Huffington Post reported that during his time in space, the aliens supposedly took him to other planets and left him with the impression that chess was introduced to humans by aliens.
Okay.
What?
First of all, there's
What
no
is this scene is coming up? Oh my God.
I don't know. But, okay, so this guy's saying the aliens invented chess.
Invented chess, yeah.
And he ran some type of Russian republic, which we all know that there's no republics in Russia. It's all fucking dictatorship, even if it's not communism anymore. This guy is like, he's probably bored. And the way he says they came in yellow suits, and then they show the scene from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It probably was Back to the Future. He was probably like tripping balls, watching Back to the Future, and he's like, "Oh, aliens
came in."
And here we thought pro wrestling was the Earthling activity that most likely came from outer space. Since returning to Earth, he also voiced concerns that he might have told the extraterrestrials state secrets during his abduction.
Oh.
In Putin's Russia,
How
that's
convenient.
kind of a big
How
deal.
nice.
But
Thank
the most
you.
bizarre aspect of the story is not that these claims were made on television while Illuminov was president of Kalmykia, which they were, but that these claims did not immediately end his political career. As reported by Live Science, Antonio Villas-Boas woke up on the morning of October 15, 1957 as an ordinary farmer and would go to sleep.
Okay, wait a minute. So, this guy was in charge of a small little Russian shithole and basically said the aliens created chess.
Yep.
Because they visited him in yellow spacesuits that look eerily like Back to the Future.
Yes.
And then he gave them state secrets. And he's not dead?
I don't know.
I mean, fucking Putin don't play.
Right.
We know this. We see this on the TV like all the time. Putin doesn't fuck around. I don't understand how this guy got away with this. Unless they're
they
just
think he's a
saying it.
kook.
It might be. They might.
He's crazier than a shithouse rat. Nobody's gonna believe him.
Yeah,
No, he's just gonna. He's gonna hang himself.
that's some weird shit right there. If you ask
I don't
me.
think. I don't know.
That don't make no sense.
That night with a story that would make Captain Kirk envious. While working his farm at night, Villas-Boas looked to the sky and saw a blinding light floating above him. The light began moving across the field at incredible speeds. When it stopped, Villas-Boas realized that he was looking at a UFO that was now landing on his field. Allegedly, 4 spacesuit-wearing aliens then emerged from the craft and overpowered him, eventually forcing him into a small room on the craft. This is the point in the story where things start to get even stranger. A humanoid female with platinum blonde hair apparently came into the room and made bedroom eyes at the confused farmer. Assessing the situation for what it was, Villas-Boas decided to boldly go where no man had gone before.
For alien love.
He believes the goal of his
Oh, wait a minute now.
What?
This guy's got some fucking vivid fantasies,
Wow.
dude.
What was he smoking?
They overpowered him. Quotation
It was
marks.
just one blonde chick.
Right, and it was the hot blonde chick from Mars Attacks, which I'd bang too, but Mara, stop.
You're tearing my. You gotta get down.
Jesus Christ, there's an alien right there.
Alien.
Fucking crazy animal. All right, let's finish this up.
abduction was to create a new hybrid species, but that nuanced thought was most likely the farthest thing from his mind during his supposed rendezvous. We can all understand that, right? Even human couples forget they're making a baby when smack dab in the middle of the process. One of the more inspiring alien encounters on this list happened to Gustavo Gonzalez and Jose Ponce.
The one thing I don't like about this video is how quickly he just segues to the next one.
Yeah.
And just like leaves that last one hanging.
Open.
I want to know more about this shit.
Open.
So he's saying basically that this guy made a love child with an alien.
Yep. So the first one was aliens created
Right.
chess, and the second one was alien love child.
Wow. Well, yeah,
And he doesn't
I'm
close
stuck
the
on
first
this
one out.
alien love child thing though, because like he's like he doesn't realize is he that horn dog that he just don't realize he's banging an alien, or is
Yeah.
he so excited?
Yeah.
I want to know how long he lasted.
Seriously?
I want to know where he put it in the alien. Those are the things I want to know. Let's get this guy on the show. I got questions.
What? Write his name down. We'll have to get.
Right.
We have to find his agent.
Right? I
Yes.
got questions, sir.
Questions.
Say on the streets of Petare, Venezuela. One night in 1954, while the pair were on a late-night drive, a glowing sphere suddenly appeared and blocked the road. Gonzalez claims that 3 short and hairy aliens came out of the sphere and walked towards them. The exact details of what allegedly happened next have been lost to history, but it is unanimously hoped that the words "come at me, bro" were spoken at least once.
Oh my god.
What do you want to do, huh? What do you want to do?
The 3 knockoff Ewoks then
I fucking love Stan's dad.
I do too.
Randy Marsh is the best.
I love him.
What are you gonna
Come
do?
at me,
What are you
bro.
gonna do, huh? Randy Marsh rules.
attempted to
You're right,
abduct
make
them.
a shirt.
According to Gonzalez, one of them jumped on his back while he attempted to stab it several times with his trusty knife. However, the knife was unable to cut the alien's alleged steel-like skin. According to Little Book of the Paranormal,
Wait a minute. How do they have steel-like skin if they're hairy?
Well, we talked about dreads, how that your hair melts together and
Okay,
you
but
can't get
that's
through.
still not like steel. That's just gross. But he said they were hairy, small little creatures.
So maybe they have an outfit on too.
And how do you say "come at me, bro" in Venezuelan?
I don't know.
That's Spanish, right?
I don't know.
Hey, it's one of our Spanish listeners, if we have any, you need to send us a
Send
thing
us an
saying what
email.
does. I think it's hermano is bro, so I don't know what like the first part of it.
Come
would
at
be.
me. I don't know.
Como et mi hermano? I don't know. Fucking no.
Gonzalez was then paralyzed, quote, by a beam of light shot at him from a tube-like object. The aliens then retreated to their ship and promptly shot back up into space. So to recap, 3 aliens whose species had mastered the secrets of interstellar travel were allegedly forced off an entire planet by 2 everyday men, one of whom had a pocket knife.
How drunk were
First
they?
of all, do you think that it's our government doing it? Because they, like, in the 1960s, they stole all that information.
Yeah, but
so
why-
why would they would be flying
But
around?
Venezuela? Why would they go all the way down to Venezuela and
They've been
fuck with
spotted
2
there,
guys on the
too.
road?
They're there in Venezuela.
I think the guys
also.
were fucking trashed.
Oh,
And they were in trouble with their wives because they came home
and
late
then they
and
say it
drunk.
was aliens.
So they were like, we got accosted by some aliens, and I tried to
Choose
cut
my
one with my
pocket
knife. And I was like, come at me, bro.
Yeah, but if you're stabbing him, you should be able to get some of the hair wrapped up in. Look at all
Yeah.
those tools he had. Like
Right.
at least a corkscrew,
when
get a
you-
hair wrapped around
When
it.
you cut somebody with hair with a knife, it's going to stick to the knife.
or you're going to cut the hair off.
Or you can cut the hair off, exactly.
gonna have a
Where's the DNA?
DNA sample.
Oh, there's DNA, but it's not alien
I know,
DNA.
because he lied. He had his
They
fucking
were doing
Swiss
some
Army
other
knife.
stuff.
Yeah.
They were like, come at me, bro. More like, come at me, bro.
Twerking, yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth.
The abduction experience of South African Elizabeth Klarer sounds more like a Sci-Fi Network original than a real-life event. Klarer lived a remarkable life prior to her
Can I just say, you ever notice that all these women who say they were impregnated by aliens are weird and ugly people? They really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
They're like just they got googly eyes, or they got like, and they got like this empty look in their eyes, like you know that nobody's home.
Do you think they had that before or after?
Oh, they had it way before.
So maybe that's why they prey on those people.
Sometimes the cray cray's hereditary.
It's true. That's true. That's the
alleged
scary part.
abduction.
Yeah.
The woman studied music, meteorology, and aviation. Plus, during World War II, she served with the Royal Air Force before doing a stint with British military intelligence. Clarer's life would change dramatically in
Look at that face. Does
So
that
she's
look
already
like a sane
all
person?
those things. She's already have some of her cracked, some of her psyche cracked.
Yeah.
And all that stuff she knows.
Yeah,
All the stuff she's seen, all the
Does-
stuff she can't talk about.
right.
So the Royal Army, you can't talk about any of that mess.
Does she look like a sane person to you? She looks like the mother of that crazy lady that talks about the flat earth shit from New Zealand.
Oh,
See,
okay,
it's all CGI.
nice.
1956 when she was standing on the ironically named Flying Saucer Hill. According to Klarer in her autobiography, she was abducted by a member of an alien race from the Alpha Centauri system. During her abduction, Klarer met a
Did you notice that the picture of the alien looked like Marshall Applewhite?
Yes. I was like, oh, he's pretty.
rather dashing alien named Akon, no relation to the rapper we assume, and the pair fell in love. After a brief courtship, Clara later claimed she gave birth to a hybrid child who was taken back to the planet Meton to...
So Akon the rapper is actually a hybrid child because that's probably her child and she's not telling anybody.
What about Beacon?
I don't know. I don't even know who the fuck Akon is.
I don't know either.
be educated in the ways of the universe. It really is beautiful when two people can look beyond their species, planet of origin, cultural differences, and the fact that one of them almost certainly doesn't exist in order to find true love.
Oh, of course, now we have stupid ads. Well, that's
what was that? The something
that's
of water?
weird. That was the Shape of Water.
Yeah, something.
That was a
Shape
weird
of Water.
movie.
Most people, normal people that is, cope with alien abductions in the only rational and logical way. Go on a lifelong bender and convince themselves they imagine the whole Lord.
Dude, I watched that movie and I was like, so this lady just all of a sudden decides to rip her clothes off and fuck a fish in the bathtub. The fuck is wrong with her?
I don't know. Maybe she had worms in her brain.
That was a weird movie.
I didn't understand it.
That was a very, very weird movie.
I didn't understand it.
I didn't understand it either. Like
you don't know if they're gonna bite your neck off.
Right. I mean, she's just like all of a sudden, hey, look at me. I'm naked. I'm gonna get in the shower and fuck your slimy wiener.
I'm sure that thought went through her head.
What the fuck, man?
Oh, I'm gonna fuck your slimy wiener. We need to put that on a shirt.
Deal. Luckily for us, Whitley Strieber is not a normal person. He's an accomplished novelist whose works have been adapted into movies and television shows.
You're writing that down, aren't you?
He dedicated his life to profiting off of his abduction experience, while altruistically attempting to warn the planet about the danger of alien-human hybrids. So, what happened?
What if his wiener has the same properties as an electric eel?
Oh!
You ever see, like, when eels, they slime up when they get, like, defensive? You ever see that?
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
gross. So, I wonder if that's what happens. It just slimes up.
So you just have
and then
your
she gets a little shock.
Vagina electrocuted?
Right, and when he hits the climax, it's like electric volts going through
So
her
he's
whole body.
sucking out the volt.
Maybe
her
that's why
volts.
she liked that fish fucking, because he did things to her that no other man could do.
No mother man?
No other man. See, I'm all tongue-tied now. 'Cause I can't fathom. Ha, get it? Fathom? Ha, ha. I'm so funny. All right.
Well, on December 26, 1985, Strieber was hanging out in a cabin in the woods when his abduction happened. Strieber, being a writer, did what he did best. He documented his experiences in the novel Communion. The aliens in the novel are described as having huge eyes, gray skin, and triangular head.
I remember that movie. They made a movie out of that.
I didn't see it.
It was a weird movie. It's creepy.
Meaning Strieber's abduction created the template all further abductees would follow when making their claims. For the last several decades, Strieber has become a celebrity in the abductee community with numerous television appearances, novels, and podcasts. In 1957, 5-year-old Jesse Long experienced his first alien abduction, which allegedly occurred while he was playing in a field. Long was supposedly taken into an alien ship and escorted into a metallic room.
All right, so let me break something down because I'm confused. I'm also curious. I would love to know the first person to describe the Greys. Okay?
Okay.
Because that seems to be the big one that comes down and takes people and puts probes in their butt and rapes them and fucking...
You think they're the scientists. I think we've had this discussion before.
So, who was the first person to come up with that description? And, secondly, are they full of shit or not? Because how many people know where Zeta Reticuli is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's where it's like, I'm skeptical, but I don't know because...
They're all saying the same thing.
They're all saying the same thing, but then again, could that be mass hysteria or mass hypnosis? Or could it just be people seeking attention and kind of coattailing off the last person that came up with the description and then expanding on that?
Right. I don't know.
It's just a weird conundrum.
Very curious.
Yeah, it is very curious.
Where an object was implanted into his leg. In 1991, the object was removed from Long's leg and analyzed in an actual laboratory by real scientists. The results of the testing were interesting, to say the least. Apparently, the object removed from his leg had an unusual surface composition and other interesting characteristics that could not easily
That
be
looks like
explained
shrapnel.
away.
It
This
does.
object was allegedly implanted during the first of the many abductions Long would experience in his life. During a later abduction, Long claims to have met his alien-human hybrid children, who were conceived from sperm harvested during a previous experience.
Jesus.
Rather than take the time-tested approach of claiming his out-of-town girlfriend was from Canada, Long put a unique spin on that story, claiming his girlfriend was from another universe.
Right.
At the very least, Long deserves some credit for his originality. When making a spectacular claim, credibility really is everything. Miguel Mendoza actually has some, albeit not enough to push his story past the realm of speculation.
Okay,
Mendoza is a
so
green
he's moving
energy.
on to the next one. Let's talk about these implants. There's been a lot of implants that have been pulled out of people that are made of odd things. Do you think it's like cattle, where they tag the cattle and they just come back and get them? You can move all over and they know where you are.
It might be.
It's like
But
a tracking device.
I don't know if I believe in those.
Or are they trying to? Are they like collecting data?
I don't know if I believe that
Like
those are
Facebook.
actual like alien artifacts in their body. That's one I'm really skeptical on, because, I mean, yeah, you could get a foreign object in your body very easily.
Right. Some in the back of the skull, some knees. Like,
well, there's
they're
some
all
that are like
different.
in the joint of your thumb.
Right.
Yeah. Why would they put them in just haphazard areas? You know
I
what
think
mean?
they put them in joints, like areas where there's fluid, like
yeah, but
synovial fluid.
that one he had it in his tib fib. There's not really a
No,
joint
that
in the
was
middle
just
of
there.
it.
It said in his knee, so it would
Yeah.
actually be in your what is that one?
Your patella.
Your fossa. Your not your glenoid
She
fossa.
said fossa.
Which fossa is that?
The I don't remember. You're making me think of medical
I'm
shit.
sorry.
I
It's a
don't
fossa.
remember.
There,
I
it's
don't
fluid
remember.
in the knee. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm very, very skeptical on those things. I just think that those are like
yeah, but that's followed along with the alien abduction story, where they scan you and you have some kind of a metal object in your
But
body.
how do you know that he didn't do it himself?
You're not going to implant something in the base of your skull by your spinal column.
How can you say that when you see people that come in and put things up their ass like flashlights?
Yeah, but that dude, he knew exactly which way to tilt it.
I'm sure this guy might know how too.
Every weekend he came in with.
He might know how to tilt it right into his, so he doesn't fucking paralyze himself. These people are weird. They're just fucking weird.
Yeah, but how are they going to get the stuff that they're nothing that we have.
Yeah,
so
the only thing
yeah,
that's the only thing I can't explain is the materials are
the
weird.
material.
But how do we know that
it's non-existent in our world?
How do you know those materials don't exist? They just haven't been discovered yet.
Yeah. So what are they? All these people
so
go
we don't
to
have a database for it. It could be anything.
So they go to some intergalactic Home Depot and say, "Yeah,
no, there
this
could
is
be
for
anything
your knees,
just
this
on
is
the
for
earth.
your hands, this
He
is
could
for
be
your
out.
shoulders,
He
this
could
is
be
for
out.
your base of your skull."
He could be out riding around on his fucking dirt bike and wreck, and there might be a metal that hasn't been discovered yet that gets
but you
launched
don't know.
into it.
That just happens to be what shrapnel that's in you that you think's implanted.
I just think these people crave too much attention and they come up with shit. And I think that there are dubious people like that surgeon that specializes in taking out alien fucking
You
fragments.
think he puts them in, or just
I don't know if he
he's
puts them in, or
surgery?
if he just pretends that there's something weird just to continue with the whole
But some
narrative.
of the X-rays, I see what you're saying, but he's the one that takes them out. So some of the X-rays, they do the X-rays first, and they're like, "Oh, you have a foreign object in your
Right.
blah blah blah," before they get to
and it's obviously metal because it's really bright.
because it shows up, right?
I'll be less skeptical when I see something like somebody pull something out of their nose the size of what Arnold did in fucking that movie where he's Total Recall.
Your sinus is enormous. My
I know,
ex-husband
but
had like
he
a
pulled that big
tampon
old
that was
fucking.
this-
It was the size of a ping pong ball in
This
there.
was like this. It was
Yeah.
enormous.
So if that comes out and it's glowing and it's like, "Greetings, we're from the planet,"
You're not gonna get that.
then well, you never know.
You got to follow the clues, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Expert whose work has been used to formulate energy policy in the United Kingdom. According to the Express, when not attempting to prevent a climate change-induced apocalypse, Mendoza is apparently attempting to save the world from a covert takeover by alien-human hybrids.
Oh, what a
While
hero.
Not an abductee himself, Mendoza claims to have interviewed several alien hybrids who live among the general population. According to Mendoza, the hybrid's human DNA has been augmented with the genes of, quote, reptilians, Syrians, tall whites, and other species.
Okay, wait a minute. Syrians?
What does that mean?
Like,
From
they're from Syria?
Like a genetic makeup.
I don't know. This guy sounds like shit, like a fucking load of shit too.
Where did he get his information?
He's talking to hybrids. Well, how do you know they're really hybrids? They could just be fucking weird people that go, I'm an alien hybrid. There are people that think they're fucking porpoises. And this guy's like interviewing them like they're legit.
Yep.
That's the problem. And then there's a lot of crazy people that just continue this shit.
Are you serious? If we had that on our show, we would absolutely interview them.
Yes, but I would never ask them any serious questions because I would be totally like, you're full of shit. Welcome to the show.
I would ask them serious
I know
questions.
you would because you're like, I believe.
I mean, like, okay, what is their anatomical makeup
The
like?
world
Like,
is
what
so
it?
magical. I'd be like,
That's why we work well together.
let's go to my house.
You're just
or
so
let's,
cynical.
let's go to my work job,
You
and I'll
need
put you
magic
through the CT scanner,
in
and
your
we'll
life.
see if you got like three fucking stomachs and you're part cow. Because why would they be killing the cows if they're not using that cow stuff for some hybrid shit?
What would they use it for?
That's probably what vegans are.
What?
They're hybrid aliens that that they have to only eat grass because everything else makes them sick because they have cow stomachs. I just fucking cracked the case. Holy shit.
In the hopes that the human race will be improved in some way. Shockingly, Mendonça claims genetic testing of the hybrids among the general population would only show human DNA. Mendonça's research and interviews have been collected in a book which, tragically, lacks instructions for identifying potential alien hybrids. Doesn't even
Because they don't exist.
Well,
offer instructions for making an effective aluminum foil hat. Come on, man.
Oh my goodness.
wow.
These little pauses are because there's little ads, but I like that they're not like stupid ads. They're just like little pop-up things.
Right.
Tom Cruise is exceptionally good at running toward a camera. Michael Bay is really good at blowing things up, and
Nobody I know runs with Judy chop hands. All right? Nobody.
The Terminator guy, the Terminator.
That it's
The
always in
second
the
Terminator.
movies they run like that. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm running with Judy chop hands. Fucking retarded.
comedy writers are really good at explaining to landlords why rent checks are late.
That's not going to make you that much more aerodynamic.
It's gonna make you go faster, Billy.
Okay.
It's like your
Dude,
propellers
Tomorrow's already the 10th.
on a helicopter. Oh,
As far as
Big
alien
Lebowski.
abductions go, former British Ministry of Defense
Again.
She's a British Ministry of
Look at
Defense.
this crazy bitch. I bet you she's had about 15 hybrid babies,
Ministry.
and her fucking
Defense.
alien's name is Maurice, and he's from fucking Protoplasm Syrii, and
Let's hear what she has to say.
he's got blue eyes and blonde hair, and he looks like a Viking.
employee Hillary Porter is the best in the business. Porter claims her first alien abduction.
What is that, a picture of her giving
She's
a
giving
fucking
the
alien head?
Yes.
With her fucking newsy hat on?
Yep, with her arms out because it's holding her arms. Yes.
Wow. That's pretty graphic.
Nice.
If kids are watching, don't let them see this picture. This is pornography.
Happened when she was in a fenced-in garden at the tender age of 5.
Oh, the
Since that
tender
time,
age
she
of
has
5.
reportedly been abducted, quote, more times than she can count.
Okay, so aliens keep coming back to this crazy bitch, and they're pedophiles.
Yes.
Okay.
And
got
she
it.
draws pictures of them.
And she draws pictures of her giving them head.
Yep.
According to the Mirror, she also claims that an alien broke into a top-secret research lab while she was working there. In other words, aliens were able to abduct Porter from a secure facility located in the same country that gave us James Bond. This does not bode well for Earth.
So I want to hear the rest of that story. Did she file a sexual harassment suit with her fucking HR for inappropriate touching?
No.
Well, then it didn't happen.
Porter claims to have had genetic material harvested from her, as well as various medical experiments conducted on her during her many abductions. Luckily, since coming to grips with her abduction habits, Porter has become a celebrity in the British abductee community and can often be found at the various alien abduction conventions throughout the UK.
See, I think these people are just screaming for attention. They're lonely.
Right.
They have nothing else better to do.
Like the elderly that comes into the hospital
Just
every
like
week.
the fucking channelers.
Oh, the
They
Palladium
crave
channelers.
attention. And they come up with these ridiculous
Those are
stories.
flat earthers.
There's no fucking way an alien came into a highly secure area and walked in and said, I want that crazy bitch on my fucking spaceship. There is no fucking way. If I were an alien, I'd be like, that's the last bitch I want on my
Well,
fucking
you know what they
spaceship.
say about crazy women, though.
I guess, but goddamn.
Keeps you coming
Don't
back.
judge me.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a hobby. UFO sightings go
Send
back
us
a
an
lot
email.
farther
You know what
in
I'm
history
talking
than
about.
you might think. One even goes all the way back to the years of 1896 and 1897. According to plane and pilots, during this time period, there were around 150 sightings of massive aircraft moving through the skies at speeds of up to 150 miles per hour. Airships at the time tended to toddle along at just about 5 miles per hour, and yes, it's faster to walk. It wasn't in an isolated location either, and the sightings were spread out across 20 states. Interestingly, many people claim to have seen human-like creatures on the outside of the craft, and a few claim to have gotten up close and personal with them. Colonel H.G. Shaw claimed he had been out for a ride in the country when he came across a UFO that had landed nearby. 3 alien creatures had attempted to abduct him, but Shaw reportedly made it quite clear that he wasn't going to have any of that nonsense.
Because he was fucking Rambo. He was like, I'll go get my fucking M60 and blast all your fucking heads off.
Fought them off. Another tale was published by the San Francisco Examiner in the midst of these sightings. A California electrician named John Horan claimed that he'd actually been taken on board one of these mysterious crafts, and he hadn't been probed. Nope, he'd instead been taken on an overnight trip to Hawaii.
Ooh.
His wife later ruined his shot at fame when she revealed that no, he'd definitely been at home at the time he claimed to have been in Hawaii.
Boom.
See?
No Hawaii vacation
See?
for you.
See?
No vacation.
That's right. This
I mean, if you
motherfucker
are
sat.
going to abduct me, you better fucking take me to Hawaii. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck that.
Take me to Ireland or
That.
somewhere.
There
is no fucking way.
Drop
That's
me
funny
off.
that his wife called him out. His wife was like,
Fuck
that
you.
motherfucker
What
didn't
the
go to
hell?
Hawaii.
You did not go to Hawaii. What's wrong
Unless
with
you talk about him putting the fucking palm tree in the fucking bathroom, laying in the tub, drinking mojitos. That motherfucker didn't go anywhere near Hawaii.
He put up a hammock.
Yeah,
That bitch put up my
yeah.
hammock that weekend. He
Yeah.
did not go to Hawaii.
Motherfucker was in the backyard.
Maybe when I
laying
hit him in the
fucking
head.
hammock. Yeah.
He went to Hawaii.
Kept screaming, baby, I want to get laid. Yeah, okay. Fucking moron.
a lot of reasons that aliens might come to Earth, but according to Bridget Nielsen and the members of her hybrid children community, one of the biggest reasons is that they want our DNA. They use it to create alien-human
I'll give you my DNA, baby.
Don't
hybrid
take it.
children,
Don't do
and
it.
the HBC explains it like this. Everyone involved in the hybridization program made a sole agreement before coming into this lifetime to take part in the agenda to awaken humankind and reunite us with our galactic family.
What? Okay, first of all,
What? Where
she
do they
has
find
the
these
name
people?
of crazy anyway, because if you know Brigitte Nielsen, the fucking actress, she's
No.
fucking insane. This lady is not a fucking hybrid, okay? Not a hybrid. She looks cray-cray. She just...
I don't know, man.
They add that 5 new races have been created, and the first generation hybrids are on alien crafts with one of the races called the Shalinea. Most of the communication between the human parent and their children is done, quote, in dream time, when children are taught everything they need to know about humans. Sometimes people are abducted to go visit their children in person, and yes, sometimes are abducted for some good old-fashioned DNA harvesting.
Okay, I
What?
wish chicks would come and abduct me for some DNA harvesting. That'd be nice. What the fuck is dream time?
When you're asleep, I guess. When you're like. When
So,
you get
in other
visited by
words,
your
they're having dreams and they're dreaming that they're fucking hybrid aliens
parents.
and their fucking alien parents are coming to visit them and take them up on a goddamn... I've had weirder dreams than that.
Yep.
None of this makes sense.
Maybe you're a hybrid alien, Billy.
Maybe I am.
There are a surprising number of people who have joined the community to get closer to their alien children, and Nielsen knows how important that connection can be. She is the mother of 6 hybrids: Crystal, Lily, Luna, Neo, Tio, Alice, and Twister.
Oh my god.
What?
This
That's the
bitch
one that's on
is
the alien?
certifiably fucking crazy. Certified.
I'm
The names
speechless.
alone are
I'm
fucking
speechless.
ridiculous. First of all, Neo is in there, so he's the one from the Matrix.
Did she
Why
take
would
the
you
red
name
pill
your
or the
fucking
blue
kid
pill?
Twister?
Maybe he.
Maybe that's how she got
doesn't
pregnant
have a
with him, and she was
torso.
playing fucking naked Twister. She's like, "Yep,
So
got
all
a
the
name for this
names
one."
Are how you were impregnated. So the first one
Probably.
you were watching, and Neo was on there.
Yeah.
What were the other ones?
I
the
don't remember.
Twister.
Here, let me rewind it a little bit so we can get these names.
There are a surprising number of people who have joined the community to get closer to their alien children, and Nielsen knows how important that connection can be. She is the mother of 6 hybrids.
So she's got six fucking kids.
Yep, okay.
Crystal, Lily,
Crystal. So she was probably...
In a crystal cave.
In a crystal cave.
Lily.
Luna, she was
she's on
fucking
the
outside
moon.
during a full moon.
She was on the moon. If I could took her to the moon.
Oh, that's true, yeah, because she's a hybrid.
She's a hybrid.
Neo, Tio, Al.
Neo? What the
That's
fuck is Tio? She must have, like, her husband must be Mexican, and then that's her fucking uncle. So she got fucked by her
Tijuana?
husband's uncle.
In
Tio.
Tijuana?
His Tio.
Okay.
Because, like,
Tijuana?
Tia and Tio are aunt and uncle, if I remember correctly. So to cover up...
So it's her uncle.
To cover up that trauma, she just called her
She
fucking
named
baby Tio because that's
Uncle.
actually her uncle's fucking kid.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alice, and Twister.
I don't remember. I couldn't hear that last one.
Children, and Nielsen knows how important that connection can be. She is the mother of 6 hybrids: Crystal, Lily, Luna, Neo, Tio, Alice, and Twister.
Alice.
She a
That's the
Wonderland?
only normal fucking name in there is Alice. Lily.
Lily
Okay,
is-
that's a
that's a
normal name
normal
too. But Luna, Neo, Tio, and fucking Twister. Exactly.
Even
She's
Mara
met some
says,
of the
what
men
the
who
hell?
have
Exactly, Mara.
Thank you, Mara.
contributed their DNA to her hybrid children's existence, and that some remember their abductions while others do not. Yikes. George Hunt Williamson was one of the early UFO researchers.
Now that is a good name for a book.
The
Other
end
tongues,
is
other
nigh.
flesh. I can go so many fucking ways with that.
You can.
Oh my
Let's
goodness.
not.
And in the 1950s, he wrote a book called Other Tongues, Other Flesh. It's a weird, rambling tome, and in it, he recounts a story first told in the Los Angeles Mirror. In November 1953, 2 local electricians named Carl Hunrath and Wilbur Wilkinson rented a small plane and headed off into the wild blue yonder. They never came home, and the plane was never found. After they were reported missing, Wilkinson's wife said that they had firmly believed the world was ending and that the end was coming at the hands of, quote, strange little men from either Mars or a planet called Massar. She said that Hunrath had stockpiled recordings of his conversations with the aliens, who had given him what was going to be the, quote, new interplanetary language. While the Mirror reported that local authorities were pretty skeptical that it had been a saucer kidnapping, Williamson suggests in his book that it might have been a voluntary abduction. Williamson said that before the 2 men disappeared,
Voluntary abduction means that they crashed the fucking plane because they were crazy and they were like, the world's over, let's just die.
Or they went into a bunker and they're still there.
No. They're dead. Either that or the fucking, they thought, hey, let's fly the plane into a secret military installation.
Yeah.
And
They got shot down.
government shot them down and
Yeah.
hid the fucking plane.
Yep.
That's easy to do.
I know. That happens to
Hunrath
a lot
had
of
called
people.
a few buddies to say goodbye. He'd added, others have left the Earth to go to other planets, so do not be surprised if I leave soon.
Yeah, that's what Marshall Applewhite told all those people too. Hey, we're gonna get on a spaceship
Drink
that's
some
behind a comet. Drink
purple-
this wonderful juice
Yep.
and castrate yourself while you're at it. I just watched a documentary on that.
You did?
Those people are fucking insane.
But that goes to show you just with the one person, what one person can show,
Well,
can
it was-
infect others
it was
with
2
psychosis.
people. But his partner, who apparently they were supposedly immortal, right? And his partner that created this whole bullshit in the 70s, she died of fucking cancer. So I guess cancer can take out aliens too.
Yep. Beware.
Williamson also clarified that the wife of Hunrath's missing partner had misunderstood and that the aliens were actually from the moon. You know, just minor details.
Wow.
They were from the fucking moon. All right. So
Wow.
what have we learned so far?
That you can't kill an alien with a pocket knife.
No. Exactly. There's a crazy lady who had 6 hybrid babies, and she's
There's-
a hybrid herself.
Right. So there are other people that are on other planets or in spaceships that are raising children.
We have learned that we've actually verified that most of our government servants are batshit crazy and should not be in government at all.
Were they that way before they got there? 'Cause
Yes,
you have to
I
do a
believe they were.
psychological test.
Oh, I believe they were.
So they just
I think you got to kind of be crazy to get into government in the first place.
Because you got to give yourself completely and wholly. Do you know you get a fine if you are in the service and you get your skin, you get a sunburn like me? I knew a guy
you get
in
what's
high
called
school.
an Article 15.
He's a redhead. He got sunburnt and he fucking got fined. He had to pay the fine because he destroyed government property and it was his own skin.
Yes.
I said, what the actual fuck?
You can get in big trouble for getting sunburned. You can get what's called an Article 15, which means they can dock pay, they can take a stripe away from you, they can put you on like work detail for as long as they want.
Dude, you and I walking around, I get a sunburn. It's fucked up. So
that's why you're not in the military.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the confessions of Simon Parks, a Labour Party councillor for the English town of Whitby.
Yet again, another government employee.
That's a pretty town.
Incidentally, the town is famous for a connection to Bram Stoker, Dracula, and having their own personal hellhound. Why not add alien encounters to the list as well? According to The Guardian, his shocking confession came in 2012. He admitted that his, quote, real, more important mother was a 9-foot-tall, green-skinned alien woman. He explained that he had known this for a long time and
she was an Orion.
What?
If you've ever watched Star Trek, those are the Orions. This is the green-skinned people.
Oh.
Some of them are super hot chicks.
Okay.
Of course, Kirk banged that. Kirk was like all about it.
Okay.
Your skin is so green. I'd still like to fuck you.
things escalated when he was 11. That's when his
Spock, get my condoms.
alien mother picked him up for a trip on her spacecraft. And this is by no means the end of the story. The Scotsman reported that Parks went on to say that he now had regular liaisons with an alien woman he called the Cat Queen.
Oh my
Those
God.
liaisons had resulted in a daughter named Zarka, and he added, "My wife found out about it and was very unhappy, clearly. That caused a few problems, but it's not on a human level, so I don't see it as wrong."
Oh my fucking God. So he came up with a whole alien story because he had an affair with another woman on his wife and they had a kid. So the way he got out of it was to say, oh, it was aliens. That's what I'm getting from that.
Wow.
That is what I'm getting. There was no fucking aliens involved unless she was from another country.
She's not human.
And
so
she was like a refugee or something.
It's not on the same level, Billy.
No. Okay.
So it's not wrong.
Some bullshit.
Make up your own rules.
Right? That's basically what everybody's doing nowadays, making up their own fucking rules.
You believe that, you're crazy.
Easy to say, as long as you're not
divorce
the
anyway.
Yeah.
wife, of course.
Run,
In the
red flag.
1940s, Richard Shaver wrote a series of stories, many of which were published in the sci-fi magazine Amazing Stories, that told of an underground world where a race of creatures had set up shop to control the humans on the surface. It's all pretty epic sci-fi, but here's the thing. As far as Shaver was concerned, it was 100% true.
You know who else said things about sci-fi like that?
What?
L. Ron Hubbard.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who was a sci-fi writer as well and then created his own fucking religion.
According to the Los Angeles Review of Books, Shaver fully believed that the diabolical Darrow and the kind Tarot were the descendants of a race that had once lived on the surface until some fled underground and others fled to faraway planets. His work was edited, heavily rewritten, and published by the controversial Ray Palmer, though he claimed he had kept Shaver's message. According to the Encyclopedia of Arkansas, Shaver knew that Tarot and Darrow existed because he'd been abducted by the latter after he had developed telepathic abilities in 1932. And here's where the controversy comes in. Shaver claimed that he had been held captive in a subterranean world by the Darrow, and he'd witnessed firsthand how terrible they were. It later came out that the time he claimed to have been held captive, he'd actually been committed to a psychiatric hospital.
And there you go.
Shocking.
And there you fucking go. Called it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Psych ward.
As soon as they said he developed telepathic abilities, I was like, all right, this guy was a fucking in the loony bin. He had to
Psychosis.
be
Yep.
fucking goofball.
Shaver was never officially diagnosed, but is widely believed to have been a paranoid schizophrenic.
Oh, you think?
After interest in his stories waned, he went on to document rock books, which were essentially alien messages he claimed to have been buried inside rocks.
Great.
Rock
Wow.
books.
Rock books.
Wouldn't that be geology?
Yeah. He doesn't.
I
he
write
wasn't-
rock books, Billy. I write rock. No, you leave me alone. I write rock books.
When Riley
I'm gonna go write a rock book now.
Geology.
Fucking weirdos.
Martin died in 2016, Howard Stern said a special goodbye and called him, quote, one of the greats. Martin had been a staple on Stern's show for nearly a decade, and he spent a lot of that time talking about his encounters with a race of aliens called the Biabians.
The Biabians.
This is the aliens that came to Biabians?
Sounds like a Chandler already.
They rarely abduct people at random. They have a purpose.
Martin claimed that he had been abducted many times throughout his life, starting with a first interstellar trip in 1953. It was during his second abduction when the Biabians, quote, downloaded the history of humanity, alien insights, and a massive knowledge into his memory. They were a super friendly group who also shared with him hundreds of thousands of different symbols. Here's the really clever part, though. Claiming that he was able to faithfully recreate the symbols, he was more than happy to share the positive vibes the symbols brought via his website for $40 plus free shipping.
Whoa.
And there you have it.
Wow.
That's
Does he make that noise that the other guy does?
Which one?
The big guy that was doing that does the sucking through the nose.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Not only were the symbols bringers of positivity and light, but they could keep illness and bad luck at bay. And most importantly...
Well, obviously it didn't keep illness and bad luck away because he died. So...
Yeah.
They would serve
He
as
didn't
a
look
ticket.
well in that.
When the
No,
time
he
came
didn't.
for humankind to exit stage left, the Biabians were going to be there waiting with a one-way trip to a, quote, distant, beautiful, unpolluted planet. One of Martin's symbols was required to be considered for the trip, but don't worry, it didn't mean you had to go. If you wanted it just for the good vibes, that was fine too. Emilson is a small town in the south of Poland, and anyone who finds a reason to visit will find that it's the home of a strange monument. It commemorates May 10, 1978, the day a 71-year-old local named Jan Wolski found himself issued an invitation he simply couldn't refuse. Culture recounts his story. On a perfectly ordinary day, Wolski was taking a perfectly ordinary ride in his perfectly ordinary wagon when suddenly he saw two figures standing in the road ahead of him. They were vaguely humanoid but had finned hands and green skin. Still, when they hopped into his wagon and invited him into their nearby UFO, he saw no reason as to why he shouldn't go, so he did. Once he was on board, he said that the very polite aliens requested that he strip naked. He agreed, and they passed what looked like some metal plates over his body. Then they indicated he could get dressed again and offered him a bite to eat. He declined and...
Wait, so he got naked and they put fucking armor on him? Like medieval armor?
And they were trying to feed him.
What kind of fucking acid party was he at?
I don't have any idea, but
headed back to
don't
his
get on the
wagon.
spaceship.
Not before everyone waved and nodded their goodbyes. Wolski became famous in Poland, and in all the interviews he gave, his story remained consistent. A monument was erected in 2005, 14 years after Wolski's passing.
Okay, consistent. Define what consistent means on this. Because none of it sounds consistent.
Nope.
I just don't understand these people.
I don't think you're supposed
In
to.
2020, the
It's just fucking weird. I don't know. All right. We got one more I want to play.
Okay.
And this is from my boy, Joe Rogan.
Okay.
This is Travis Walton. This is like very, very popular one. This is about the guy that got abducted and they made a movie about it and everything.
It's 9 minutes. Are we going to be able to get to watch it all?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what do you remember from that moment on?
When I regained consciousness, it wasn't real quick. It wasn't real walking right up. It was real slow. It was dim. My consciousness was kind of like in and out for a while. I didn't know where I was. The pain and the feeling that I was mortally wounded, something was so wrong inside. I felt like I was dying. And this is what really fueled the panic when I finally laid eyes on these creatures.
Now, do you believe him? I mean, he sounds credible,
I've
right?
seen him before on a couple other shows.
Yeah. This is the guy that the movie Fire in the Sky was made about,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Of course, all of the mental programming that we get from Hollywood that aliens are invading monsters, didn't help. But I instantly associated this feeling of dying with pain with them. So I was combative immediately.
So I don't know. Maybe he was in a delusional state. I don't know. I don't believe that. I do believe in aliens. I don't think that we're the only species in the universe. But this guy sounds credible, a lot more credible than some of these other people. Whether this really happened or not, I don't know. I am on the fence. What do you guys think?
I appreciate that Joe Rogan is not interrupting him and saying, you're a fucking quack.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I love Joe Rogan, because he's curious. He wants to hear everything. You guys listening to the show, tell us what you think. Send us some stuff at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. Let us know. All right, let's finish this.
Where were you?
I was lying on my back on a raised table. There was a light above me. It was not real bright. It was not so bright that I couldn't, see the outline of the fixture. But
what did the fixture look like?
Kind of like that, only much larger. Just a soft glow, and in the movie, there's a little bit of striking on the part of the aliens against me. That didn't happen. I lashed out at them. The one closest to me, I felt really weak. I didn't have enough strength to do much. So when my arm contacted him, he just fell back very unexpectedly easy into the other one. And I rolled off the table in the other direction. And
I mean, technically, this guy's story sounds like what we deal with every fucking weekend in CATScan.
Right, that's what I
Like
said
we're the
too.
aliens.
Maybe he is like...
Maybe he
had a psychotic break and he did go to the hospital. Because a lot of patients, elderly patients, that's what they do. They start swinging because they don't know where they are.
Yeah.
And they're coming out of a fugue state.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like they have a TIA or stroke. Sometimes when they have strokes, they aren't thinking well and, the synapses aren't firing. Not saying that he had a stroke, but you are correct. That is exactly
they came
how they
around
act.
the table, and the three of them were coming towards me. And I just grabbed something.
And I was listening, and overhead I heard, security alert.
Security alert.
ER room 25. Security alert.
From behind me, an object off of the shelf there, and started swinging it at them.
What was the object?
It was just some large, long cylinder or rod.
They were going to put that in his butt.
There we go.
Some clear material.
53 minutes.
I wasn't studying it. I was looking at them and swinging wildly, screaming threats. They stopped. And I was planning on attacking more fully, just making way past them. The only doorway I could see was on the other side of them.
And it looked like a doorway?
Yeah, it looked like a doorway, just,
What did they look like?
I guess it's a pretty typical description nowadays.
What's he looking at?
Very large eyes.
I don't know.
Hairless.
He doesn't seem like he's actually, like, there.
He's
you know
not
what
engaged,
I mean?
right.
Like, he is... This is why this is weird, and it's like...
If I'm telling you a story, I'm looking in your eyes, right? So he's looking off to his left.
He's, like, reliving it.
So is that what he's doing? Because I know
Yeah.
when you tell a story, you either look left or you look right because you're pulling from your subconscious.
Right, and I think that's what he's doing. And I mean, that's why this guy just doesn't seem like a cray-cray. But then again, anybody can be cray-cray. You know what I mean?
So my question is...
This is why I'm on the fence, because
if you're
guys
aliens,
like this.
you are going to be strong enough if you're trying to take a man down. You know what I'm
He
saying?
looking like a man.
So he just, like, basically swung and they fell like dominoes. So
Well, that's because they're skinny little fucking...
I'm saying, wouldn't you be, like
the size of a 5-year-old.
stronger? If you're
Yeah, well, that's
trying
what
to subdue a man?
Well,
You just hope the fear is going to hold him down.
Yeah, but then again, they
But
also
there's
have
fight or flight, so
they have
he's fighting.
Aryan technology.
Yeah, but it's not working on this dude. Why?
I don't know, and that's why
I'm going to fight. I'm going to fucking be a
confused.
wildcat. You're not taking me
That's
down.
why I can't figure out if this guy's full of shit or not. It's just so fucking weird. But he definitely looks like he's right back where he was when this happened.
2 eyes, nose, mouth. I didn't see them speak or no change in the expressions. And to me, that in the face of all the screaming and the fear that I was projecting, their lack of reaction probably just added to my panic. But
did they feel like they were a living creature, or did they feel like they were a robot?
Well, they were without expression.
That's a good question.
Right.
Because, I mean, this could have been somebody fucking, like the government taking him away and fucking with him. And
they could be, this could be like a OnlyFans thing where they pull you in a room and they're robots or something.
Right. OnlyFans?
AI.
What kind of fucking OnlyFans are you watching?
The robot kind.
Okay.
And I'll say that, but, I've had 45 years to think about it.
Does it involve, like, a fucking drill with a dildo on the end of it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A few of them.
That's incredible, Dawn.
About that. In more recent years, I think, well, maybe if they're telepathic and it's developed enough to where they don't need to talk, they also don't need facial expression.
Right.
And so their ability to communicate with each other would be much richer and more complete than we have. And speech and frowns or smiles or whatever would become obsolete pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, that is a theory about where human beings are headed. If we continue to evolve, that we will one day reach this point where the biological limitations of our monkey bodies will slowly start to fade away, and we'll have different abilities to
well,
communicate.
why would we need to frown or smile if you can
could read my
say
mind.
much more?
And also, their musculature, did they look like smooth, like they had no...
Joe Rogan's asking because he wants him in an MMA fight. Be like,
right?
Were they all like fucking buffed out?
He's not gonna be in it. He's gonna
be like the
announcer.
The announcer,
yeah.
With these little fucking fucking alien going against one of these big MMA dudes. Could he take a punch? That's what he's getting ready to ask.
No clear muscles.
Yeah, they were pretty smooth, very light. When I hit the one, it fell back into the other one pretty easily. Like he weighed hardly anything.
Like a little kid.
Yeah. That was the most terrifying experience of my life. But when I tell this story and try to relate to people, I'm trying to communicate what I experienced and how utterly traumatic that was, and how it was so devastating. I was, on the verge of catatonic for weeks after it happened. But I don't want to relate this story in order to inspire fear, because I've had enough time to think about it that I think that it was unwarranted, that my reaction was just due to my ignorance of the situation. The fact that I was returned at all is pretty significant,
Yeah.
The idea that these beings are just kidnapping people willy-nilly and doing terrible things to them, I don't subscribe to that theory.
He thinks there's a purpose.
I have to admit, this guy is very fascinating to listen to.
He seems very intellectual, like he's not speaking.
He's not crazy like some of these other people. I've got 12 hybrid children, and they put things in my urethra, and that it was like a seed, and all of a sudden I sprouted wings on my buttocks, cheeks.
No, he has had time to contemplate what happened to him that many years ago. He sounds highly intelligent.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fascinating to hear him.
Yeah.
Now, I try to separate what I actually experienced from things that I've concluded just from thinking about it. But it seems to me that, they've been seen, observed, there have been sightings for all, before I was born.
Had you heard of the Betty and Barney Hill story before you were abducted?
I probably had. But I thought if they had some sort of sinister intentions, it'd be a done deal. They wouldn't be sneaking around, hiding, and I believe with that level of technology. Look at it this way: human beings, just virtually everything technological that we have is just a few hundred years old. Before that, the most technological thing we had was fire. And in just the last 50 years, the progress of our science has grown to far overshadow everything we had accomplished in thousands of years before that. So I'm thinking...
I think that's because of aliens.
Right, that's what he's saying, that the information that was given from the aliens, we wouldn't have been where we are right now, having a phone right here.
Right.
That has a computer.
We had a whole show about that.
Right.
Yeah.
What astronomers tell us about these other star systems is that they could be hundreds of thousands, millions, or maybe billions of years older than us. So if we accomplished the kind of technology that we have in a few decades, what is possible with millions of years of development? I mean, we couldn't begin to recognize what they're capable of.
Right.
So I think it's presumptuous for people to say, oh, they could never do that.
It really is an interesting conundrum because we know what we can do and we know where we came from. We have a very clear history of technology when it comes to humans. And we also know that there are planets surrounding stars all throughout our galaxy and all throughout the universe. But we're still skeptical. It's so funny. And
yeah,
so it is. But for a guy like you who's actually encountered it, even though you saw it, it had to not seem real.
Oh, yeah, you're questioning your sanity for sure. I mean, it was like I was practically catatonic for days afterwards.
Catch new episodes of The Joe Rogan Experience for free, only on Spotify.
That was fucking awesome. That guy is very fascinating. I don't know what to think, man.
Yeah, that's a good way to top it off.
Yeah.
He's right. Since 1960s, we have come leaps and bounds above what we would have come on our own.
Well, that's going to be it for us this week. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Send us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. Go to our website, thedeadtimeradioshow.com, and we will see you next time.
Love you, bye.